entertainment, it's my pleasure to introduce Hello.
Hi everybody, it's AlsoAshley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're diving back into Tumblr. So I had an absolutely incredible response to the Q&A stuff that I did on my last Tumblr video. Check it out here. So we're diving back in. Mostly because since that video, Tumblr blew up again. So now I've only got about 22,000 questions to answer. I set up my keyboard beforehand this time. And fingerless gloves. I've always had a thing for fingerless gloves. Don't tell anybody. Is it funny if I don't acknowledge how I'm dressed? Yeah, I think I'll do that. Oh! I actually do have fangs. These are natural, by the way. I was asked this. Yeah, somehow I just was naturally born with e-girl fangs. Who knew? What are we waiting for? Let's do it. For those of you who don't know, I have an ask button at the top of my Tumblr page. So if you're on Tumblr and you want to ask a question, ask it. Might show up in a video like this. This is so fun. I'm so excited. I had such a good time last time, so I'm doing it again. If I could just make a career out of answering Tumblr questions, maybe I'd do that. Nah, not true. I like wearing lingerie for y'all. Just gotta say, I've been in lust for you for a long time. Thank you. I'll even write that. Thank you. I do like being a lustful little minx. Can I say that over and over? Lustful little minx. Lustful little minx. Lustful little... Do you think you would have transitioned without the online encouragement you had? Yes. But I think it would have taken longer, both in processing my own shame, fear of rejection, also financially made it easier. Women's clothing is expensive. Cosplay is expensive. HRT is expensive. But mostly it was just fun to basically have people fund my feminization. So, thank you all. What's not expensive is surgery, which I have never gotten. So, I feel very lucky in that. I know that's a very privileged place to talk from. Will I ever get surgery? Probably nothing like cosmetic. Might remove my balls at some point. That's fitting, dressed like this, to say that, right? Post. Do you have a BF? And if not, can I take you out on a date? You know the rule. It's a rule, not a guideline. I have to run across you in the wild. You have to not know who I am. But also, no, I'm single. I've got my cats. I like being single. It's fun. Ooh, who's your favorite superhero? Daniel Radcliffe in Swiss Army Man. That's my favorite movie of all time. Check it out. If you get past the first 10 minutes of farting, you're in for a ride. It speaks to me emotionally as someone who has IBS. Oh, this is fun. Have you ever found yourself accidentally doing a cosplay you've already done before? Or do you have a system to make sure any redos are on purpose? This is a great question. If you ever see me redoing a cosplay, this one, for example, it's because I feel like I can do it better, or I want to return to the character, pull her out of retirement, and try again. I never really liked the wig on the last version I did of Luna. That's who this is. So, got a new wig, wanted to try it, pulled it out of my giant warehouse. And my system is massive. I have a massively organized breakdown of every single set I have ever done, all of the thousands and thousands of pictures, all labeled specifically. So I can literally type cosplay into my folder structure and it lists them all, which granted, doing like 300 of these, bound to forget if I've done one or not. I'm oddly good at remembering, mostly because how much work I put in means you can't really like start working on a pair of Faye Valentine shorts and halfway through not go, wait a minute. This was something I did before. It took forever. So a lot of it's memory, but most of it is just organization. If I've ever been like, ooh, what Sailor Moon character did I do? Look it up. It's in my structure. I have done so many photo sets, by the way. I remember almost every single one. I think I've done like 6,000 over the years, which you multiply that by 30, you add videos in there. That's up. Ashley's made a lot of content. Also, admittedly, sometimes I redo a cosplay because over the years I've filled out more and I kind of want to see how it fits now. And the answer is better. Yeah. Techtual. That'll come in handy in a second. You're a very techy woman, but how textual are you? Will people be surprised by how much or how little text takes up in your life? Should I beep that? Here, I'll say a word so I could replace that. Tech. Now replace that with everything before. But now we're looping and I'm explaining it now. So the reason it sounded weird before is because I'm replacing it for YouTube. I make a living being textual, so I guess in a weird way, my whole meter is off on this. I start my morning answering hundreds of textual DMs. Admittedly, not a lot of people talk about what it's like to merge your day-to-day with the sex to sex. I could write a book about it. I could write a Bach. I could write a Bach. I could write... Oh, I spelled it Bach again. What the hell is wrong with me? I could write a book about it, but personally, I am like a superhero. I'm rather mild-mannered when I'm Clark Kent, but Superman can leap a building in a single bound. Wait, let me make that more textual. But Superman can leap a building in a single bound. That work? When was your last date and how did it go? Was there a second? Last week went horribly? Nope. Talking about your last trans girlfriend during most of the date? Don't do that. Why do you keep your college major a secret? Very curious. 'Cause. Just 'cause. No. I could tell you, but it's a secret. No, I don't really talk about it because that's my old life. If I have a minor in screenwriting, I talk about knowing a lot of stuff in a certain industry. You can probably guess. Ooh, who do you have a crush on right now? Jack Packard from Red Letter Media and a bunch of other stuff. Second Wind, I think. I watched their Halloween special because this week is Halloween. And he grew a mustache. And I was watching and I was like, well, damn. Which is unfortunate for Rich because up until I saw that mustache, Rich was my number one. So, if either one of you wanna call me. Okay, AG25. Don't think I didn't notice how many questions in a row. Do I like karaoke? I'll answer this one and this is all I'm gonna answer from you. Yes.
The taste of love is sweet.
When hearts like ours meet.
I fell for you like a child.
Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire.
It went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns.
That ring of fire, that ring of fire. I just do that. I was wondering when we'd have to start talking in code. What could we replace here? Do you Xbox or do you Nintendo? Because wow, as an Xbox, you would have me on my knees. I play Nintendo, if you know what I mean. 'Cause Switch. Yeah, this is fun. I'm a wolf girl, this is fun. I was told the other day that the character I'm most like in real life is Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers, because I do what you just saw all the time, mostly to my cats, but that's melded over into the real world. So yeah, I just sing everything, and I'm bad at it, but it's fine. Hi, Ashley. Just had to say, I love your stories on Fiction Mania. Don't know where you find the time to do all that you do, girl. Neither do I. You're an inspiration in many ways and wish you the best, honey. Aw. That is so very sweet of you. Thank you so much. And I don't know how I find the time either. The only reason I can find the time is because of all of you supporting me. So support me. Make it so I can get, hotter. And just keep making stuff for you all. So, support. Yay. Okay. It's not even that wild of a question. It's just coming off of what I just said. Are your breasts natural? Oh yeah, baby. They are. I was born this way. Gaga, ooh la la. I saw an argument the other day that was like, it was on the trans subreddit, and someone was like, I was told that HRT boobs aren't natural. That's the world we live in. Okay. Thankfully, folks were like, no, to tell whoever said that to you, they are incorrect. Hello, I wanted to ask, how do you look so good as a female? Lots of work, eating right, and a deep, deep desire to get hotter for you all. So it drives everything. Oh no, don't get too hot. Oh, just keep getting hotter. Making sure my wolf ears always play it right. Every once in a while, I get in a fight. What? I click the button. We're back on track. Answering questions. What do you think about that? Why is my belt stuck? You can't see the belt anyway. Who cares? This is just a really sweet message. So I just said, thanks. I love you. Where are you located? I'm right behind you. It's going to be my answer every time anyone asks, but Seattle. That's the actual answer. After the YouTube video answering asks, you need to copyright I have IPS for entertainment purposes, because if you don't, I may use it to answer anything that just feels weird. With your expanding influence, nice to see you still maintaining a presence here when the overlords allow it. I do like being on Tumblr. I still do. It's still fun. It's my origin story. It's my lore story. I come from Tumblr. Tumblr and Reddit hand in hand. Reddit was my father and Tumblr was my mother. Hi there. When will you be visiting Germany again? Ich weiß nicht. Lange Zeit. I really do wish I could visit Germany again soon. I loved Germany. Berlin was awesome. I spent a ton of time in this little town down south called Schiltach. Oh, I miss. And I happened to be there when they were doing a river festival, which they were like, oh, we only do this every 6 or 8 years or whatever. We happened to be doing it this weekend. I got to ride around on these little rafts and do this whole thing. It was incredible. I was there for my old job, my secret major. Okay, this is a good question, and I'm going to get into this a little bit. Any advice for someone wanting to start posting pics of their femme self with the end goal of making money from it? First off, perfectly legitimate question. I'm not shaming you for asking that. I'm going to give you my opinion about your approach to this question. And I want you to know, perfectly okay to say, I want to do this for money. But when it comes to asking me that question, that's not why I do this. So it's harder for me to get stuck into that mindset. What I can give you, and I'm not going to write all this down, is some direct advice. I'm approached in real life and asked this question really, really often. I'm just going to start a solitary enthusiast and I want to make money. How do I do it? Give me advice. Honestly, my first answer when I'm asked that question is, don't do it for the money. If your end goal is money, if your entire motivation is money, you're only going to gauge your success on money. And I will be honest, it is really hard to be successful doing what you're doing. Only reason I'm at where I'm at is because I started 15 years ago. I didn't start yesterday. I built a brand and me for 7 years before I asked for a single cent of anyone's money. And the reason I started making money wasn't because I went in wanting to make money. It's because all of my fans I had built up basically told me, go over here and we'll fund you. We will give you money. Please go somewhere where we can make this happen. So, very long way of saying, going in with that mindset of, I'm only doing this for the money, tying that directly to your own gender identity or presentation can be a sticky situation. So just be careful with it. You don't want to gauge your femme self-success by financial income, especially nowadays. So I think finding a balance is important. I'm just going to say I'll answer this in the video. I'll answer this in the upcoming vid. I just talk forever to the camera on this. So, gonna have to watch the video. That's how I'm gonna get all of you. You're all gonna watch my YouTube. Can I lick you from head to toe? I only do toe to head, so no. It's been no secret that you're a massive nerd. Hey. No, it's not a secret. But MTG is high level. Can I ask what deck you run? And if it's Commander? I run a mono blue milling Commander deck. Yes, I know I'm awful. Oh, you all are going to hate me. My favorite Commander deck is Slivers. I use the first Sliver, Cascading. If I do it right, I can pretty much win every game by round 5, which is why I don't play that one often, because people hate me. So I will run other decks. I run a 10th Doctor and Rose Tyler deck. That's really fun. And then I run a Elevere Enchanted deck. That one is super fun. So when I talk for too long, I'm just going to tell people to go watch the video. I'm not going to write everything out I just said. Okay. Do you ever get harassed in public? What do you do to defend yourself and stay safe? Yeah, I do. It's unavoidable, especially nowadays. So, yeah, it sucks. Sucks. Sorry. I'm not necessarily even getting emotional about me. I just hate thinking about other people getting harassed, especially anyone younger than me. You know, they shouldn't have to live in a world where that happens. You know, what do I do to defend myself and stay safe? I have a big old knife. It's just a big old knife. I said it right there. But honestly, the easiest way for me is I just start speaking German. I'm lucky in being able to do that. But it pretty much ends any kind of confrontation here in America because they don't know how to handle a foreign language if you're being a shitty person. So they start calling me slurs or start being mean, and I just go, oh, tut mir leid. Oh, ich spreche keine Englisch. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Oh, du bist ein Esel? Blöd Esel? So the best part of that is it throws them off and they don't know how to react. I get to play around with my German, and you probably didn't notice what I was saying, but I was insulting them to their face. So it's great. That has worked pretty much every time I've done it. I had a time when I was walking by a bar and somebody stepped in front of me confrontationally. They were watching me from across the street. They clocked me. They just knew. In front of all their friends, very drunk. And their first question was,
How old are you?
is that a good impression? And I could tell that they had like a whole speech. They were like, I'll ask the age, and then from here, I'll go into a whole thing. And I just started speaking German and walked right by them. They didn't know what to do. They just locked up and kind of froze, and their friends just kind of watched, and they were confused. That guy then started doing like a Borat impression to my back as I was walking away. He was like, my wife, and doing that. The best part was just all of his friends reacting to that and basically just being like, oh. So, you know, it works. Wish I didn't have to do it, any of that, but that's my trick. I saw in one of your answers that you have IBS. Is that true? Yes, that is actually true. I am not making a joke. 30 plus year, DX here. Always nice to see others out there. Totally understand if you'd rather not publish or answer. Just want to let you know that if you do have IBS, there's hope. Cheers. Thank you. Appreciate you. I do indeed have IBS. Fight the good fight. Yeah, I went through a very extensive period trying to figure out why my stomach didn't work anymore. Ooh, is this the story? Do I want to give lore? So several years back, I had a sty on my eyelid, and I went into the emergency room. And instead of telling me that typically those go down in an hour or two, and if I wait or put some hot water on it, it'll be fine, they assigned me some horrific antibiotics that I normally wouldn't take, and that normally aren't assigned to somebody. This is just an Ashley medical story. I took it because I was told to, only to really extensively look it up later and realize this was completely unnecessary because it went away about an hour after I started taking the antibiotics. But you have to follow through when you take antibiotics. That completely reset my immune system, wiped it completely like a hard drive. And as I was starting to kind of build myself back up, it was just the worst. It was the worst. I got food poisoning and got something called Campylobacter. And I'm not saying this lightly. I nearly died. I was in the hospital. They were pumping fluids into me. No euphemism, because telling this serious story, I still can't help myself. They basically told me, you are dying from dehydration because you can't keep any liquid in your body. Post-immune system reset and post-Campylobacter. This is literally killing you. You are near death, and thank God you came in when you did. And they filled me back up. with fluids. And I survived, but my gut did not. And ever since, I have had incredibly horrible stomach problems. This is more than you all ever wanted to know about me. I went through years of testing and trying to figure out what was going on. Lots of tubes up my butt outside of work. And basically it was just like, well, you have IBS. That whole thing just aged your stomach more than it normally would. So welcome to a face like this, but a stomach that's 88. Ever consider being locked in chastity? I will beep that. This is the number one question I am asked across all of my platforms. You can probably guess what it is. I'll give you like the first letter. I get asked that so much. One day I'm going to do it and half the internet will literally blow up because I think half the internet has asked me this question. You ever thought about putting yourself in a cage? It's fine to ask this, by the way. Like, definitely not shaming. It's never really been my thing, but maybe it could be my thing. Ooh, maybe it will be my thing. Not yet, but everybody. Yeah, I'm doing it again. I have been following you for years on here. What's the most ridiculous question you have received? Thanks for your presence. That's very sweet. I gotta be honest, there's so many in my head and I've been some are so random. It's tough. Okay. This is all true. I was legitimately asked to go to Dubai and live like a queen, basically, from a legit businessman, wanted to marry me. So yeah, this wasn't a scam. I genuinely had a very successful businessman who lived in Dubai get a hold of me, give me tons of evidence proving that they were who they were. And I'm not going to say the name because you can look them up. And they straight up were like, I will marry you. No questions asked. I will bring you to Dubai and I will marry you as soon as you land. And I will spoil you and treat you like a queen. And we will live together and every need you could ever want will be catered to. So I guess that means that the most ridiculous question was just like, will you do that? So obviously I said yes, and that's where I live. No, I'm kidding. No, that was a shocker. Honestly, another reason why I think this was real is that when I rejected it and said, really appreciate it, he was very cool about it. And still followed me for quite a while. And he gave me a massive tip. And I genuinely think it was a real offer. So somewhere out there in an alternate dimension, Queen Ashley is in Dubai. This is really fun. I love doing these. I really want to just keep doing them. I feel like y'all get to know me better. I genuinely love every question. Your style is so cute. Do you have any cosplays you're working on right now? Luna! Ooh. I'm wearing this for Halloween on Friday, by the way. This video is going to come out well after Halloween, but you don't mind? Oh, that is driving me crazy. There. Better? Yeah. Blarp. Blarp. Okay, I'm going to try refreshing like I normally do and see how many of these came in while I was answering them on Tumblr. I love y'all. There they are. Hey there, I saw your video on YouTube and decided to follow you on here. Question, what are your top 5 cosplays you have ever done and what's the weirdest DM you got on here? I'm curious to see how freaky people are. Weirdest question on Tumblr is a tough one because there's been so many. I can't even. This is just going to be beeped. Somebody was just straight up like, will you the out of my hole? So I'm not going to write that, but you can see me turning red. Top 5 cosplays. Top 5 cosplays. I like the silly ones. So like Britta from Community, Liz Lemon. Let's write these since I'm supposed to be answering them. Major from Ghost in the Shell. Bowsette. And honestly, Faye. I love doing Faye. I just really get into characters here. It's kind of great that while I'm answering questions, I just get more. I love that you guys see it and start doing it. Ashley, I'm a huge fan. I just watched your YouTube video answering questions from Tumblr. I'm curious if you've ever experimented with This is evidence to what I talked about. Again, no shame. I find it funny, the timing. I think you look so cute locked. When I started, I never thought in a million years that I would enjoy it as much as I do as a bisexual girl. You know what? I think I just got to do it. I just think I just got to do it. And I can just direct folks to a certain place where they can see it. Just said, all right, you may have convinced me. Oh my God. Dear Ashley, I love your last pick. MTG is also a great passion of mine, and I specifically like that you're tapping by 45 and not 90 degrees, as some newbies. No offense to anyone out there. That detail made my day. Love and hugs. Yeah, I always do 45. Actually, after posting that photo, which maybe I'll show here, I got shit on both sides. So half the folks were like, oh, thank God you do it 45. And the other half were like, how dare you not do it 90? I don't know if there's a true answer. Maybe I do both. Maybe I do 45 until I do end step and then I turn them 90. Maybe I do 180. I don't know what that means. 360. I just spin it around and then it's right back up and I just keep tapping. Tap, 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 tap. I am flattered. Yar. Pop, 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 pop. Do you function? It's everyone's favorite. I'm hoping this is a joke. I'm hoping they saw the last one and that this is the joke. Oh, God. Yes. Hey, you're gorgeous. Just wondering if you'll respond. Yarp. I say yarp all the time. And then folks are like, oh, you're a fan of Hot Fuzz? And I say, yeah, I actually am. Yeah, that's why I say that. It's because it's funny. And I love Hot Fuzz. Coming from a straight man, you look very beautiful. 10 out of 10. Wood goon. Noise. Does it turn you on to know I love to your Not trying to insult you. It is so hot on you. Your turns me on so much. Sure. I also wanted to clarify, like asking questions like the money one, asking about advice on that, asking for general trans advice, asking me any question is not a burden on me. It is not. It shows you admire me. It shows you want to connect with me. Even when I talk about like, oh, I was asked a silly question or I was asked something like this or ooh, it was a bit inappropriate maybe. I just genuinely love connecting with you all and even being admired in that way. So don't feel shame around that. And I might poke fun and all of that, but that's just because I admire you as well. So that's all I wanted to say. I've just been seeing some posts lately from the trans community, acting like it's a burden to be asked questions from someone who admires you. It's not. It should never be a burden. I'm not going to call them out. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm blue. That's a deep cut, if anybody gets that. It's a lot of connections to make, but maybe some of you will get it. I'm throwing shade. Look at me go. Hi, Ashley. I hope I'm not being too straightforward, but have you ever made any movies? I think they might be thinking like videos. Like I do often make tons of videos for my paid sites, including this. Like this YouTube stuff is just a small sliver of everything I make. But if they mean movies, maybe. I'll never tell. We're getting close to wrapping up. You're very responsive on here. It is refreshing to see. Thank you for being you. Thank you for supporting me. I try to be as responsive as I can across all my platforms. It's a lot. If you want to talk to me personally, like actually chat and stuff, that's what my other sites are for. You know, I've got like 800 DMs on Reddit a day, people trying to connect and ask me. I just can't handle that much capacity. So that's why I exclusively reserve that for folks that are supporting me financially. So I will talk to you and answer personal questions. I just do it on those other sites. It's the only way to do it. I was curious as to how tall you are. I noticed that you have tiny feet. I am genuinely flattered by that. I don't think my feet are that small. It's a hang up I have. I also believe you're an extremely gorgeous woman. I also believe you have a wonderful personality. You are super sweet. Do you ever wear a cage? Similar. I know that question. Why are you so hot? Flew too close to the sun? Soon? Oh, shit. Biscuit is meowing at the door. Okay, hold on. No. So him screaming at the door probably means that I should go feed him. So let's wrap this up. And I will just say, thank you all for joining me. That was super fun. I want to do more of these in the future. It's just a good time, and hopefully you get to know me more. So, do you want to tell him? Be hot. Resist fascism. You're getting big, huh? It's a big boy. Getting so big. Let's get some purrs.